Alrighty. Should be good. Good there. Okay. What's up, everybody? We got 8 games tonight. It's a Friday night. Man, we had a hell of a day yesterday. If you guys were in the stream yesterday, we gave out a 3-pick on stream. Cashed that. We took the Luka discount. We took Rui over fantasy. Shout out to whoever was in chat yesterday and gave out that play, because I really like that play. Once the whoever gave that out. And then we took Jonas Valanciunas over PRA. So 3-0 on our stream slip yesterday. Gave out 3 plays on YouTube the night before. 3-0 on those as well. Aaron Gordon over assists, D'Anthony Melton over PRA, Luka over rebounds. And then I gave out 4 plays on Patreon. 4-0 on those 4 plays. So we had a hell of a day yesterday, man. And let's see if we can repeat it, you know? Try and find some winners today, make some more money. Feel like this is a good slate. There are some injury news pending. There's some injury news that we're waiting on, and there's definitely some plays I'm looking at that I'm liking for tonight. So to start it off, we have Neemias Queta for the Celtics. He got downgraded to questionable earlier today. We don't know if he's going to play or not. If he plays, the sportsbooks, they upped their lines a good amount on Luka Garza. The lines are almost set as if he's not playing. Queta's not playing. So if Queta is out, I don't know if there's going to be much value on like some of these prop lines, but the fantasy score for Luka Garza looks pretty good. I mean, his PRA is at 18.5, fantasy's at 19. If Queta's out, I kind of like this. If Neemias Queta plays, I think we can look at some unders on Luka Garza because his lines are definitely inflated, assuming that, you know, Queta's going to be out. I mean, you look, obviously, his PRA, you know, he hadn't hit in any of his last 5 games. So that's one I'm looking at that I'm hoping. That game starts at 7:40, so I'm hoping we'll get that news on stream, and we can, you know, maybe snipe a play there. And then we've got a bunch of questionable tags for Denver. They're on a back-to-back. Jamal Murray's questionable. Jonas Valanciunas is questionable. Peyton Watson's questionable. There's definitely going to be value on Denver, you know, depending on who plays, who doesn't play. If all those questionable guys play, then I don't see a ton of value except for one play that I still like that we'll share and we'll talk about later. And then I think that's it for like the big Q tags. There's some other minor ones. Definitely in this late night game, I got a play I'm looking at in this one. So Colin Murray-Boyles is questionable. He's been out, I think, like the last 3 or 4 games, I believe. Let me see. So he last played January 18th, which, let's see. I think he's been out like the last 2 or 3 games. But either way, Sandro Mamukelashvili, his lines were really high today. And then they got bumped down a bunch because there's a chance that Colin Murray-Boyles could play today. But if Colin Murray-Boyles is out, I'm loving this. Sandro Mamukelashvili over 22.5 fantasy. This is kind of similar to the Garza play. Look at where his PRA lines are at. His PRA line's at 21. That's obviously, you know, that line is set almost as if CMB's going to be out. So if CMB plays, you know, they might bump those lines down a little bit. But this fantasy line on Sandro looks really good. If CMB plays, I still think it could hit. If CMB's out, it's a great play. So, got some plays I'm liking for today for sure. Gonna wait for now. You know, I don't think we're gonna put a stream slip in just yet. We'll kind of wait and see what else pops up. You know, we'll see once we get some lineups and stuff if we can find some plays. But there's definitely 2 or 3 plays I'm already kind of liking for tonight that I have kind of, you know, in the chamber, ready to go in case, you know, some news pops during stream. But over the next, like, you know, 30 to 40 minutes, guys, we're going to answer questions, talk through this slate. We'll react to any injury news, any lineups that come out during the stream, and we'll try and find some good plays for tonight and hopefully build out another winning stream slip. I hope you guys that were, you know, are in here now, we're all in the stream yesterday because we had some good plays yesterday for sure. Enrique, what's up, my man? You like Rockets money line? On a back-to-back going into Detroit, don't love it personally. I don't know what the odds are on the Rockets money line, but yeah, don't love it. D Steve says Noah the GOAT. Appreciate you, D Steve. Appreciate you. You do PP parlays too? Talking about what is that Prizepicks parlays? I'm not sure what your question is there, Michael. Unless you're talking about like sports bets like money lines and stuff. I don't typically, but I'll answer questions about those. I'll give my opinion at least if people have them. What's good, Noah? You've been on one. Thanks for all you do, man. Yeah, we've been on a little heater, no doubt. Had a great day yesterday. We're probably due for some regression. I'm sure we're gonna have a losing day here soon. Hopefully it's not today, but it's been good. We've been crushing, no doubt. I'm riding with Giannis tonight, 39.5 PR. Faded him versus OKC, but he'll run over Indy. Giannis plays Denver, Timothy, but your point kind of stands. It's definitely a good spot for Giannis, for sure. And if Jonas Valanciunas doesn't play, probably matchup gets even better. Absolutely love your live stream. Thank you, man. Do you see Şengün having much luck facing Duren? It's definitely not a great spot. The Pistons are a really good defensive team. They're a really good team at limiting points in the paint. Betting on a guy coming off a back-to-back after they were playing in an overtime game yesterday. I'm a little bit iffy betting on Rockets guys here. I think this could be kind of a letdown spot for them. But, Şengün obviously can have a good game. I just don't think it's the best spot personally. Just my opinion. How do you feel about Klingon over 12 rebounds? His head-to-head versus the Raptors look good. Let's take a look at that. Let's see. I assume he hasn't played them a ton. Okay, yeah, so it looks like Klingon's faced the Raptors 3 times, twice last season, and then once this season. Last season, 14 rebounds in 30 minutes, 13 rebounds in 30 minutes, and then this season he had 11 rebounds in 21 minutes. Look, for Klingon, it's all about the minutes. How many minutes will he play? I will say that the Blazers are on a back-to-back. Robert Williams is questionable. If Robert Williams doesn't play, they're going to be even more thin at center, which that would make Klingon's minutes even more secure. This definitely could be a spot where the Raptors play small ball, which would that be good for Klingon's rebound chances? Maybe, maybe not. If he gets played off the floor, that would be a little concerning. The line set at 12. I feel like that's a correct line on Klingon. I could probably look at the sportsbook odds. I'm assuming sportsbooks either have him heavily juiced over 3.5 or heavily juiced under 12.5, if I had to guess. Let's see where DraftKings has Klingon at. But just my opinion, I think right now that line looks pretty accurate. I don't see much edge one way or the other. So he's 12.5, minus 125 to the under. If Robert Williams gets ruled out, I would definitely like that play a little bit more on Klingon. I'll say that. We'll see if he plays or not. Typically, he doesn't play back-to-backs, I don't think. I don't know if he's even played a back-to-back all season. So I would think he probably doesn't play, but we'll see, I guess. K due to go off tonight, right? If you want to say he's due, I guess you could. It's not a good spot, though. Houston's a great defensive team. Amen Thompson's a great defender. But, Cade's a great player. He can go off any game. He has... he's been okay lately. Just looking at, his fantasy game log. I don't think it's the best spot for Cade, but that doesn't mean he can't have a good game. What about Claxton rebounds if Keita's out? I would say the matchup definitely gets better for Claxton. Luka Garza is a really bad defender. He's got some offensive game to him. He's a hustle guy. He'll hustle for rebounds. He can shoot threes too, but defensively he's bad. So Claxton's matchup for sure gets better if there's no Keita. I don't know if it's Keita or Keita. I think it's Keita. I think I've been saying it wrong. Brandon says, what up, gang? What's up, Brandon? How do you like Cade points? What's the line at? 23.5? I feel like that's a pretty accurate line for Cade here. Let's see. DraftKings has him slightly juiced under 23.5. I don't see much value there. Cade has been out the last few games with injury, so he's probable, so he's expected to be back today. But he's coming back from a hip injury and an illness. I'm always iffy betting on guys coming back from illness. You just never know how they're going to perform first game back. So that's one where I'm just kind of don't feel great about it personally. And with the sportsbook odds kind of favoring his under a little bit, it's just not a play that I love taking. But that's just my opinion. If you really like the play, man, feel free to take it. Claxton over 9.5 points. What do you think? I would assume that's probably a Goblin line. I mean, it looks like right now at least Prizepicks doesn't have a points prop for Claxton. I'll say if Keita gets ruled out, I do think it's a good spot for Claxton. I might bet some Claxton overs if Keita's out. Like, I think it really matters that much. So, let's see. So, last game, Claxton only played 23 minutes, but that was a huge blowout. This game has a 7-point spread. The Celtics don't have Derek White. Like, I think the Nets can keep this close. So, yeah, we might look at betting some Claxton overs. Like, this over 27.5 fantasy. I mean, that looks pretty good to me, especially if there's no Keita. Let's see. Hold on, let me check something real quick. I mean, yeah, the 9.5 points, I do like that, especially if Keita's out. I'm very interested in some of these Luka Garza lines. So, like, pretty much all his lines besides fantasy score got bumped up, assuming, Keita's going to be out, but they left his fantasy score line the same. So there's value in the over here if Keita is out. There's value in the under on some of these other lines if he winds up playing. They're definitely going to bump these lines down if Keita plays. I'm pretty confident in that. And I'm hoping, I don't know for sure, but I'm hoping we'll get that news pretty soon. We'll just kind of wait and see for now. Thoughts on Holiday, 14.5 PA. We can take a look at that one. So it's a back-to-back for the Blazers. Drew is coming back from injury. His minutes have not been great. Like, he's been limited to like 20 to 24 minutes pretty much every game since he's come back from injury. I will say, Denny Avia is out today, or he's doubtful, so he's not expected to play. So Drew's definitely going to have a bigger role. Drew did only play 19 minutes last night, so, maybe they play him a little bit more tonight. If you got the line at 14.5, I mean, you probably got some good value there, because right now his line is 16.5. Or unless you're asking about PR. But it looks like you said PA. His PR line's at 14.5. PA is at 16.5. If I knew he was going to play like 24 minutes, I'd like it. But I think there's a chance he only plays like 18, 19 minutes. Because, back-to-back, coming back from injury, all that. So, that's just my thoughts there. Is there any value on Portland with Denny doubtful? They've kind of already adjusted the lines for that. So, I would say probably not. I could take a look at him, though. Like, let's see. Like, Shaedon Sharp, his PRA, I think, was 30.5, so they bumped him up 2 points. I don't think, Klingon, his projections probably don't change too much. Drew's projections, can only go up so much because, again, he's limited right now, so it's not like you can really bump Drew's projections a ton with the minutes limit he's on. And then Tamani Kamara is, like, not a guy I love betting on, but he probably gets a little boost. I think where the lines are set at right now, there's not much value on Portland props because they've, again, already adjusted for Denny being out. Any value with Jalen Tyson? Man, Jalen Tyson has been very good without Darius Garland this season, and Darius Garland's out right now. His prop lines are really high right now. Like, we typically don't see Jalen Tyson have lines this high. But he just continues to play really well without Garland. Let me look at his game log this year. So let's see. He's played a good amount of games without Garland. But I mean, last game, 31 minutes, 14 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. The game before that, against OKC, 16 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists. Like, the minutes are there. The production's been there. It's just hard. It's hard for me, psychologically to click overs on Jalen Tyson when his lines are this high because he's just not a player that we really ever see projected this high. But he just keeps crushing like every game. If I was going to play anything, maybe I'd look at like his... maybe like his PR at 21. Fantasy at 30.5 doesn't look too bad, but like I don't love it. It looks like they just bumped his PRA down a point. I don't see much value on Jalen Tyson props, me personally at least. It is a good matchup though. Tyson, I think, might play even if it's a blowout. He's played in blowouts this year. So that's at least worth noting, I guess. That game does have a lot of blowout risk, the Cleveland-Sacramento game. It's a big spread. Any field goal attempts, turnovers, or personal fouls? I'll be honest, man, like those are the props I literally don't look at all. I'm a big fantasy score guy, so if you have fantasy score questions, I love answering those. But yeah, the other props you mentioned, field goal attempts, turnovers, personal fouls, it's just a super volatile, like personal fouls is just a super tough stat to project. It's just like, who knows how many fouls a player is going to get in a given game. A lot of it has to do with their foul tendency, who they're guarding, the player they're guarding, and their ability to draw fouls. Like, if Jaren Jackson Jr. is guarding Zion, I could see Jaren Jackson Jr. drawing fouls or picking up fouls here, but like, he's 3.5 fouls, gobbling. Like, I don't want to play that, so yeah. I mean, maybe Andrew Nembhard. If he has to guard SGA, like there's definitely foul risk on Andrew Nembhard, but like, do I really want to play a 1.5 goblin line that probably gets like no payout at all? Like you take this with a regular prop and it's 2.6x. I mean, maybe, I guess, Andrew Nembhard, like that'd be my favorite, I guess, but just personal fouls, really tough stat type to predict and project, in my opinion. So I just kind of stay away from those. I really don't even look at them. Logan says he likes Şengün under fantasy. Like I said, I think it could be a letdown spot for the Rockets. Back-to-back, traveling to Detroit. They just played an overtime game last night. This could definitely be a spot where they struggle, maybe. It's not a good matchup for Şengün, but that doesn't mean Şengün, can't go over or under this line. I would lean the under though on that as well if I had to pick a side on that prop for Şengün. Push and P, I honestly don't even know what you're talking about. Going off on chalkboard as an app, yeah, I have no idea what that means. Thoughts on Durant points and Duran PR? Okay, Neemias Queta is available to play, so here we go. We're about to snipe a play. We're about to take. Well, they already bumped his PRA down 1. I think we could still take this though. Luka Garza under 16.5 PR. And then let's talk about a couple plays I like. Let's take the let's see. Let's take the Sandro Mamukelashvili prop because I like that one. And we're gonna take this Jamal. He is questionable. I don't know if I want to take it as a questionable play. Let's go with this Jalen Williams prop. We'll talk about these plays, but I'm rolling with this. This is our stream slip for today. I'll discuss why I like these plays. So, the Luka Garza one, I was waiting for if Queta was playing or not. The books bumped up Garza's lines because Queta was questionable. Now that Queta's playing, there's definitely some value in these unders on Garza. Right now, my favorite, like they already bumped his PRA down to 15.5. So his, PR just bumped down a point. At 15.5, I still think it's okay. If they bump it again, probably would fade. Did anybody get it at 16.5? I know I literally just put that in. Okay, 17.5 PRA, that's fine. You could take that as well. That's probably honestly better than PR, 15.5 PR. Okay, they bumped PR down again. So I would pivot to this instead if you didn't get the PR line. But yeah, I was waiting for this Queta news, and now that he's playing, I like these Garza unders. So the Mamukelashvili prop, we already talked about that. Jalen Williams, let's talk about this play on Jalen Williams, why I was kind of liking this. So right now, let me look at the Thunder injury report. They've got a lot of guys out. So Isaiah Hartenstein's out. J-Dub is out. AJ Mitchell's out. Aaron Wiggins is out. Alex Caruso's out. They are very thin. Now, last game, I think they did still have like 10 or 11 available players. How many players will they have available tonight? I don't know. Let me check this real quick. So let's see. So they have SGA, Chet, Lou Dort, Wallace, Joe, Kenrich, Jay Will. And then they have like a bunch of guys that don't really play much, like Carlson, Barnheiser, Youngblood, Jang. Really, they have like 7 stable rotation pieces. Like they have 7 guys that we for sure know are going to get minutes. And then after that, it's just kind of like there's going to be scraps available for Carlson and Barnheiser. So I'm expecting decent minutes here for Jalen Williams. He started the last game he played in. He only played like 7 minutes though because he got injured. I'm expecting him to start tonight. And Jalen Williams is a pretty solid per minute player. Like he's a player that does everything. He scores, he rebounds, he gets assists, he gets defensive stats. He hasn't played a lot this year. He typically doesn't play a lot just because, you know, OKC's a deep team. They have Chet, they have Hartenstein, they have a bunch of other guys. But right now, obviously things are different with so many guys out. So let's take a look at this season. Let's see. Let me go to the Thunder. I think if we project Jay Will for like 24 minutes, he probably projects for like 26.5 fantasy points, 27 fantasy points, given the scenario for OKC here. So this season, Jalen Williams is averaging, he's only averaging 0.72 fantasy points per minute. But if we look at the minutes he's played without J-Dub, we can take J-Dub off the floor because he's out tonight. I can put this on the screen so you guys can see. So without J-Dub, he goes up to 0.83 fantasy points per minute. So he's already taken J-Dub out. His production spikes a bunch. We could also take out Hartenstein because Hartenstein's also out tonight. Without J-Dub and without Hartenstein, he's at 0.99. So he's basically a 1 fantasy point per minute player without J-Dub and Hartenstein. I mean, you could even go further. You could take out Aaron Wiggins. You could take out Caruso because those guys are out as well. But just given the scenario here, okay, they bumped his PRA down 3 points. Hopefully you guys got it at 17.5. That was up for a good minute. Honestly, you could still, you can maybe still take fantasy score at 19. But yeah, that was up for, that should have been up long enough for you guys to get it, I think. His PR went down, but his PRA was still up, so you should have took that if you got it in time. You could also take fantasy score. Like his fantasy score should probably be like 17.5. But I think there was better value on the PRA and the PR lines that were available. But as I was saying, with Jalen Williams, I'm expecting him to start. I'm expecting him to play like 24 to 28 minutes. He's a fantasy point per minute player without J-Dub, without Hartenstein. It's a good matchup against the Pacers. Also, this game has a lot of blowout risk. But I think, given all the injuries for OKC, I think there's a chance that Jalen Williams would play even if it's a blowout. He's played in blowouts before, so his minutes feel pretty solid here. Like, obviously in a blowout, they're going to pull SGA quickly. They're going to pull Chet. They're going to pull Lou Dort. But, like, a guy like Jalen Williams, they'll leave him out there in a blowout. Like, he has that potential to play those minutes. So, yeah, that was our official stream slip. I'll put it on screen for anyone that missed it. Obviously, the Luka Garza line was kind of quick to move. I took under 16.5 PR, but 17.5 PRA was up for like a couple minutes. So you guys at least should have been able to get that if you didn't get the PR line. But this will be our stream slip for today. Luka Garza under 16.5 PR. Mamu over 22.5 fantasy. I really hope Colin Murray-Boyles doesn't play, because if Colin Murray-Boyles doesn't play, I feel great about this Mamu line. And then Jay Will over 24 fantasy score. Let's go back to back, man. Went 3-0 yesterday. Let's do it again. And maybe we'll build out another slip. We'll see what other news we get over the next like 30 minutes. But I'm glad we got that key to news because I was waiting to to snipe those lines on Garza. We'll see if there's anything else that pops up. Garza PRA went down to 16.5, but I still got it at 17.5. Good deal, good deal. Literally just got the Garza PRA at 17.5. So yeah, if you got Garza PRA under 17.5, that I feel good about that one. That was probably just as good as under 16.5 PR. Both of those were fine. Who's the best fantasy score player you got tonight? That's a tough question. I mean, it could be injury news dependent, but like if Colin Murray-Boyles is out, Mamu over 22.5 fantasy, like that's my favorite play for sure. That's kind of injury news dependent though. But even if Colin Murray-Boyles plays, Mamu could still go over this line. I mean, the Jamal, so I gave out to my Patreon members today, I gave out Jamal Murray over 45.5 fantasy, and his line actually bumped down 3 points. And I think the reason that was because Denver, they're on a back-to-back. They were going to come into this game potentially missing some guys. Peyton Watson got injured yesterday, went to the locker room, and then came back. There was a chance he might not play today, but he's questionable. We'll see if he plays. Same with Jonas Valanciunas. He just came back from injury. There was a pretty good chance he wasn't going to play today, but he's questionable, so we'll see if he plays. I'm pretty confident if Valanciunas is out, if Watson is out, and Murray plays, his line will bump up, probably back up to 45.5, 46.5 maybe higher. But even if all these guys are in, like I think it's a good spot for Jamal Murray. He's been really good this year without Jokic. I know, seeing a play you put out get negative CLV never makes you feel good when the line bumps against you. But I feel good about Jamal Murray tonight over 42.5 fantasy. That's if he plays. I mean, he's questionable, so he might not even play. I'd be really surprised if he plays and gets like 28 minutes. Like if he plays, he's going to play full minutes, in my opinion. So yeah, that's another one I like as well. But the Mamu one, I love that. I love that Mamu play if CMB's out. No, what about Jeremy Grant over 14.5 points? We could look at that one. So let's see. Jeremy Grant's another guy that he's kind of dealt with injuries lately. But let's see. He's played, since he came back from injury, he has played 3 games. He was out for about a month, returned. Since he's come back from injury, he's played 23 minutes, 22 minutes, and 23 minutes. So he's definitely on like a minutes cap right now. There is no Denny Avdia, so that definitely should benefit Grant in hindsight. It's tough when a guy's on a minutes limit like this. Like, you need him to be effective in the minutes he gets because when he's not playing more than probably 24 minutes, if he has a couple bad stints, like if he plays 6 minutes with no stats, like you're going to be in bad shape because he's just not going to play that much. So like I'm not a big fan of the over there on Jeremy Grant, but again, if that's a play you like, you could roll with it. I would take a look at, let's see where the sports books have Jeremy Grant's points prop. I'm sure it's at 14.5. We can see where the odds are though. It's at 14.5, pretty much even money. Yeah, not much of a take there, honestly, man. What's good is your favorite Patreon subscriber go? What's up, Big Seb? What's up, my man? Do you know who Dylan Brooks will be matched up with tonight in the Suns game? Probably, it's a good question. Probably Jalen Johnson. Brooks typically guards like the lead ball handler usage guy, which, I mean, that's probably Jalen. But I could take a look at that. Let's see. I'm trying to think about the Hawks lineup. It's probably going to be Dylan Brooks if I had to guess. Or it's probably going to be Jalen Johnson, excuse me. Brooks is probably going to guard Johnson. I got a 3-leg parlay on Pistons, Suns, and Grizzlies money line today. How you feeling about it? Let me think. Pistons. I do like the Pistons. I like the Pistons. Suns. Don't feel as good about that one. I think Atlanta could definitely win that game. And then Grizzlies. That's another tough one. I'd lean Grizzlies there in that game, but that's a tough one. But yeah, I do like the Pistons. I mean, I'm sure the odds are like, what are the odds on the Pistons money line right now? Let's see. If the Pistons are plus money, oh man, I love that bet. But I know they're not. They're probably favorites. Yeah, minus 175. I still like them to win. But I hate betting like minus 180, minus 200 money lines. Chet over 9.5 boards sharp. It's definitely a good spot for Chet to rebound. The Pacers are not a good rebounding team. And, you know, without Hartenstein, you expect Chet to pretty much play like all his minutes at center. The only thing I worry about, though, is the blowout risk. Like, I could definitely see a scenario where Chet has like 8 rebounds going into the fourth quarter and then, you know, doesn't play the fourth because they're winning by 25 or something. That's my only concern, I think, on Chet rebounds. But it's definitely a spot where he should be effective on the glass. How about your boy Cam Spencer, RA? He cooked last time we picked him when Ja was out. Cam Spencer's been very good without Ja this year. His rebounds and assists is at 11.5. I know, I'm pretty sure he's gone over this line in a lot of games without Ja this year. Let me see. Cam Spencer, rebounds plus assist without Ja Morant this season. Let's take a look at this. I mean, you just look at his last, like, you know, 5 games without Ja. 16 RA, 15 RA, 17 RA, 18 RA. You look at games where he's played at least 30 minutes without Ja. 17, 16, 15, 9, 16, 11, 13, 15. Pretty good. I mean, pretty good hit rate there. So what is that? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 6 out of 8 games playing 30 minutes without Ja. He's over this RA. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Pelicans matchup should be a pretty good one for rebounds and assists, especially, you know, assists, because the Pelicans are just not a good defensive team. I think it's okay. Why do you think Hunter's stats are so low? I think last game DeAndre Hunter only played like 18 minutes. Oh, he only played 13 minutes. Yeah, that's probably why. He's just kind of fallen out of favor. I think I can't even remember how Naquan Tomlin. I think he led the bench in minutes last game. He played 21 minutes. So that's the concern, I guess, with Hunter. That's why his lines are probably so low, because just there's concern on how many minutes he'll play. Only getting 13 minutes last game is definitely not a good sign. I'm pretty sure the Cavs have been playing their starters like really big minutes lately. Like Donovan Mitchell played almost 38 minutes last game. Evan Mobley played 35, almost 36. Even Jared Allen, I think, got over 30 minutes. Jared Allen played 35. Like they've been running it up on their starters. Now, in a game like this where they're big favorites at home against a bad Kings team, like maybe this is a spot where they play the bench a little bit more. But yeah, that's probably why Hunter's lines are so low right now. Do you take Derek Queen over 22.5 PRA? I wouldn't touch that, no. I gave out his PRA last night at 19.5. If you didn't get it at 19.5, I definitely wouldn't play it, 3 points higher at 22.5. Vince Williams over 22.5 fantasy. We can take a look at that one. So obviously no John Morant. I think there might be somebody else out for... No Santi Aldama either. Yeah, so no Aldama, no Morant. Who else is Memphis missing? I think that's it for the main guys that are playing, that would typically be playing right now. Jock Landale was questionable, but I did see that he's available to play. So Vince, he's another guy that's kind of been working his way back from injury. Since he's come back from injury, his minutes have been 22, 23, 21, 21, 19, 18. Without Ja, you would think he gets back to like the 22 to 24 minute range. It's a good spot. probably only playing like 24 minutes, 22.5 fantasy. Feels like a pretty accurate line to me. I mean, you can look at his games without Ja this year, but it's worth noting some of these games without Ja, like he was starting, but now, you know, Cam Spencer has really taken over as like the starting point guard. But I think they were actually starting Vince Williams at point guard earlier this year when Ja was out, but they're not doing that now. But let's see, Vince Williams, FanDuel game log without Ja Morant this season. So, I mean, you know, his last, 7 games without Ja, he's been at 19 minutes, 16 minutes, 25, 22, 23, 21, 21. Like, he was playing big minutes earlier this year without Ja. Like, he had a 35-minute game, 27, 27. But since he's come back from injury, they've kind of been managing his minutes a little bit. So, yeah, I think at 22.5, that's probably an accurate line. I don't see too much edge there on one way or the other. Landale PA over 14.5 because I think Ja Morant is out. You can maybe look at Jock Landale props. It's definitely a good spot for Landale. The Pelicans, really bad paint defense. They give up a ton of points in the paint. I would want to keep an eye on the starting lineup for the Grizzlies. I think last game, I'm pretty sure Jock Landale started last game. I think, but I can't remember. Without Santi Aldama, I think he'll start, but I could be wrong because they were starting Aldama. Let me see. All right, yeah, that's right. They started John Conchar last game, but Conchar didn't really play much. He played how many minutes? He played 21. I would feel a little bit better about Landale if he's starting, but I think the matchup is good, and no Ja should only be favorable to Landale. And Landale, I want to say he's been a decent assist guy like in his career. He's had 3 assists in back-to-back games. So yeah, maybe his PA could be the move if you're going to take a prop on him. It's only a 2-point difference between his PR or his PA and his points. I think I'd rather take PA honestly because he's favored for 2 assists. I don't hate that play. I don't hate it. I got $10. Give me a 6x play, por favor. We posted the stream slip. You know, one of the plays you're probably not going to be able to tell, but I can show it to if you missed it. I can put it on stream. So this is our stream slip for today. This is, you know, power play. You could do power play for 6x if you wanted to. But once we got the news that Neemias Queta was playing, we took Luka Garza under 16.5 PR. We took Mamu over 22.5 fantasy score, and we took Jay Will over 24 fantasy score. I talked about why I like these plays earlier on stream. So if you want to know why I like these, you could rewind the stream, I guess. But yeah, that's a play for you if you want to tell. I was hoping we would get some more news, but like most of the news, you know, that we're waiting on, I don't think we're going to get on stream. We did get the Pistons and Rockets starting lineups, but those are as expected, so there was really nothing. There was no value on those on those lineups. Does a 1-point difference have a significance when it comes to how a line is set? I mean, every point matters, honestly. You would be surprised how often, you know, getting a prop at 16.5 versus 15.5, like how much that matters between winning and losing. So yeah, every point matters, honestly. Obviously, a 1-point bump isn't as meaningful as a 3-point bump, but like I said, even a half a point, you know, even going from 11.5 to 12, you'd be surprised how often a player ends with exactly 12, and then if you get him at 11.5, you won. If you got him at 12, you know, it's just a void. So yeah, it matters for sure. Do you ever run demon lineups? I don't. I don't. I've said this plenty of times. I think the demons and goblins on Prizepicks. Look, I know, you know, I'm a partner with Prizepicks. I have a promo code. I make money when people sign up with my code. At the end of the day, though, I'm still going to speak the truth. And I've said this so many times. Like, demons and goblins are terrible to play on Prizepicks. They're not worth the price you're getting. Like, you could literally, let's see, Asar Thompson, 6 rebounds, Jaylen Brown, 25 points. You know, we put $10 on this, it would pay out $24. I could literally go to DraftKings and do the exact same parlay, and it would probably pay out more. I'm guaranteeing it pays out more. So let's see. Asar over 5.5 rebounds parlayed with Jaylen Brown, 25 points. A $10 bet on that on DraftKings pays out $28.32. So you're getting it at plus 183 on DraftKings. You're getting it at plus 140 on Prizepicks. Like, you're just paying a worse price than the market suggests what you should pay. And there could even be a better, there could even be a site out there that's giving you a better price than what DraftKings is. But like, Prizepicks is probably giving you like the worst price you could possibly pay. It's just, again, not worth it. So, just my 2 cents. It's very rare that I take a demon or a goblin. I think the only time I ever take them is if it's like, a player gets ruled out and, I can get a good demon line with a good payout before they adjust it. Like, that's like the only time I would ever take one. Optimus here, wishing luck to the Patreon picks. May everyone be safe with the storm on the way. Yeah, I want to say that, guys. I do live in the South. I live in South Carolina. We're supposedly getting an ice storm this weekend. So I'm hoping, my fingers are crossed, I'm hoping I don't lose power this weekend and I'll still be able to put up videos and stuff. Obviously we got NFL playoffs on Sunday. But if you guys don't see any videos from me over the weekend, just know I probably lost power. I probably won't stream I typically don't stream on the weekends, but yeah. I'm still going to try and do videos for the NFL games this weekend. I'll try and do an NBA video for tomorrow, but there's a chance I do lose power. Maybe like I think Saturday night is when the storm's supposed to hit, so we'll just keep an eye on it. We'll cross our fingers, I guess. And yeah, to anybody who's on the East Coast who's getting affected by the storm, man, wish you guys the best. I think at least where we live, it doesn't seem like it's going to be too bad. Like, temperatures are only going to get into like the 30s or like in the high 20s. But I know it's probably going to be a lot worse in other places. Hurricane Helene, when it came through, man, like that was the worst I've ever experienced, like any sort of storm. We didn't have power for, I think, 8 days. Like, I've never experienced anything like that. So hopefully this one isn't quite that bad. KD over 40 fantasy points seems low. Again, not a great matchup on a back-to-back. Just played a bunch of minutes yesterday. Could definitely have some tired legs. Like, you can tell yourself a story on, some of these Rockets guys underperforming tonight. I agree that 40 typically, that looks like a low line on KD. But I have concerns about some of these Rockets guys tonight. That doesn't mean they, can't have a good game. KD could still go off tonight, but I think 40 fantasy points, that's probably an accurate line for this spot specifically. All right, I'll answer the last couple questions, guys, and then we're going to hop out of here. We got the game starting up in like 10 minutes. I don't think we're going to get any more news on this stream, so I'll just answer a few more questions, then we'll hop out of here. On the spot again, Noah, best PRA play today. Oh, Mike, you're putting me on the spot. Let's see. Give me a second to look through these lines. I mean, if you were in the stream earlier, you could have got Luka Garza under 17.5 PRA, but that's not available anymore. Let's see. Ooh, J. Will, 17.5 PRA. I kind of like that. Kind of like that one. Damn, they already got some props up for tomorrow. I'll say this one. I'll say J. Will over 17.5 PRA. I took his over 24 fantasy. If he goes over 24 fantasy, he probably goes over PRA too. He's a do-it-all guy. Scores, he rebounds, he gets assists. He should play 24 to 28 minutes. Even if it's a blowout, I think his minutes could still be there. There's a chance he could still play even if it's a blowout. So yeah, that's my favorite PRA play for today. Good luck, Mike, if you're tailing. I take goblins because they're safer to pair with. That is true. You know, they're technically they are considered safe plays, but again, the payouts are not great. I think the only time, I've said this a lot, I think the only time you should really play a goblin is when you're getting like a really, really good play. Like, let's say a player gets ruled out and you're able to snipe a really good play before they take it off the board and you just need something to pair it with, then it makes sense to just take a goblin. Because, you know, you've got a really good play. Even if you're pairing it with a goblin that doesn't, you know, pay out well, you still have a play that's really good that's paired with that. That's when I think it's okay to play goblins. Other than that, like, I know they're safe. They might have a higher hit rate, but it's all about, you know, kind of what do you win when it hits. You know, you hit 3 goblin plays and you double your money, like, it's just not worth it. You'd be better off just finding 2 regular lines than doing, like, I see people do like 6-pick goblin lineups to win like 4x. Like, that's literally like the worst slip you could possibly play on Prizepicks. And even if it hits, you know, that doesn't mean it was still a good slip to play. Over the long run, if you just play those, you're probably going to lose money. I guarantee you. Favorite plays for today? We kind of already shared some plays. This is the slip I put in on stream. So if you want to tell, you can. The Garza line has already bumped down like 3 points or 2 or 3 points. So you probably could just fade that one. But the other 2 plays here, Mamu over Fantasy, J Will over Fantasy. I like those. So feel free to tell those 2 if you would like. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna wrap up the stream here. Good luck, man. Enjoy your Friday night, guys. Enjoy your weekend. Again, we got a storm coming this weekend, so fingers crossed I won't lose power and I'll be able to still do content this weekend. Make a video for NBA tomorrow, do a video for the NFL games. But yeah, if you don't see any videos from me this weekend, just know we lost power. But hopefully that doesn't happen. So yeah, good luck, guys, and I'll hopefully see you guys back here on Monday with another stream. Peace out, everybody.